Action. This is your boy Tech Supreme. Yo, what up? I'm making sure I don't have anything on my head this time, because last time it was kind of tragic. It was absolutely tragic. I had a piece of white fuzz stuck to my head the entire episode. What the fuck, guys? Super whack. But episode 8, rent free with Tech Supreme. Hope everyone's having a good day. I generally want to get these out on Mondays. I think that's going to be the best way to do it. I like to get it out. I actually don't need these. I like to record them Friday and get them, but I think Monday's going to be the best day. I know I'm kind of rambling, but you know what it is. Let me turn that down. That's too loud. Yeah, I hope everyone had a good weekend. I hope you are attacking this week with new ferocity. Let's just hop all the way into it. Let's just get into it. And yeah. First topic of discussion this week is going to be cold or COVID. Last week I got sick. So a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, our AC started going out. It went out twice in the same week, so we had to pay for that. And we decided to go ahead on and just get a new system put in. So we did. And it dramatically changed how cool the bedroom got upstairs. And I had a fan on me the whole time, and with the new AC kicking in, I started getting a stuffy nose last week, and I had to play this wonderful game. Is it a cold or is it COVID? So I kind of let it ride out and see if it got any better. And then I started getting worried that I had COVID. And if you look up the symptoms for COVID, it's like literally the same thing as a cold if you've got vaccinated. So I started getting worried about that. And long story short, I took a test on Thursday maybe, and I got my results back Friday, and I was negative. But it's kind of weird that we have like this new like energy about us. Like we don't like now it's like super more anxiety, super like when you get sick, you don't know what it is. You don't know if you can kill someone that you care about because all of a sudden you have a cold and you're like, oh, it's just a cold. But then fuck around and be COVID, and then you fucking give it to Nana or whatever, and like now she's fucking sick. So, and people are dying from COVID, to this day. We're gonna talk about COVID later. No, we're gonna talk about it now. They got the new variant, Delta Plus variant. And thank God for Loki, because now people know what variant is, right? And then they got the Lambda variant coming out. And they have a list of variants coming out based off of scientific research and future predictive modeling to kind of say, like, okay, well, it's going to mutate here. Like, so they kind of know all that, which is kind of dope. Unfortunately for us, it is what it is. More and more people are getting COVID. People who are vaccinated getting COVID. It's out there. Is it time for a lockdown? You let me know what you think in the comments. Whether you're on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram or Twitter or Facebook, let me know what you think. Should we go back into lockdown? Me personally, I don't think we should go back down in lockdown. I don't think the people who don't want to go lockdown are going to let us go into lockdown, if that makes sense. Like, they're going to go so hard to keep out of lockdown. But hey, we had a summer. Maybe it's time to be mature and say, okay, maybe we should scale it back a little bit. But I understand businesses are still struggling, still having a hard time, but at the same time, life, death, I'm on the fence. I think maybe we should get a little bit more strict with the masks, and I just think assholes need to get vaccinated. Like, just get vaccinated, and it makes it better. Simple as that. If you're at risk and you can medically get vaccinated, get vaccinated. That's my opinion. That's how I feel about it. I also don't trust the government. I also don't trust certain things. I do trust science. I do trust doctors. I understand their agendas. That's why I'm constantly on the fence. I got vaccinated for me. My wife got vaccinated. We did that for ourselves. We already had COVID, and my wife had it bad. Not hospital bad, but like you had to go lay down, and that's a mild case. Like, you got to lay down for a week. Like, your body was like, I can't do this. You got to lay down for a week. That's a mild case. I was telling somebody over the weekend who also had it recently. That like they should lead with it's going to knock out 2 of your senses. And I felt like as soon as I lost my sense of smell and taste, I freaked the fuck out. I was having anxiety attacks about it, and I'm not really an anxiety attack type person. I would wake up like, I'm never going to smell again. I'm never going to taste again. I love food. I love smelling shit. I feel like I joke around like I have a strong sense of smell. I'm Wolverine. And that shit knocked it right out. It was gone. Didn't know when it was coming back. And that is terrifying. And they should 100% lead with that shit. I feel like people would take it a little more seriously if it's like, all right, you can catch this, you'll be fine, but you're going to lose 2 senses, and we don't know when it's going to come back. And sometimes it don't come back. Sometimes it takes months to come back. Sometimes it takes years. You don't know. Depends on your body. If they led with that, I feel like people will take it more seriously. But I don't know if people will ever take it seriously. Like, they have this whole, like, logical, for them, which is a fallacy to me, that, like, I'm not listening to anybody. No one can tell me what to do. Blah, blah, blah. But you go to work every day. You have a boss. You're not that much of an independent thinker. No offense. But, like, I don't want people telling me what to do, so I'm going to put people at risk. You're doing that, but you have a boss. People tell you what to do every day. I'm just saying. Don't be a hypocrite about it. Don't let that be the reason. Give me a better reason than you don't like being told what to do. That's stupid. Because they're not even trying to tell you what to do. They're trying to save lives. That's a whole different thing. But whatever. Moving on. DaBaby losing the bag. The bozo. You can go back a couple episodes. Hold on a second. I got a cough. Excuse me. You can go back a couple episodes. I'm a Baby fan. I was. And I'm very disappointed in his comments, for sure. It's ignorance. It's lack of knowledge, which is ignorance. It's stupid. It's misleading. It's dangerous. Now, does he deserve to get his whole career canceled? Sure. And here's my reason why. Now, everyone's going to say, cancel culture. I don't know. Y'all been acting out of pocket for centuries, and now when people want you to be held accountable, now it's cancel culture. No. You're going to be accountable for your actions, and there's consequences for your words. Now, if you'd have came out and said, yo, I'm sorry, didn't mean the shit, it's just kind of a hip hop thing. I'm from the old school, because he is kind of from the old school, honestly. Like, he's not a baby. So like, he's from the era where people were like FAG this and FAG that, like, which is horrible. I'm glad we're out of that. But even at a younger age, I was wrapped up in it too. But like, he can say like, yo, I'm sorry, it's my bad. But no, he doubles down on his comments. He deleted his fake apology only because he started getting cancellations. So it's going downhill for DaBaby. I don't know how he can come out of it. He needs to hire a new PR team. If he has one, fire them because they're trash. Get a new one. I don't know. Educate yourself, bro. Educate yourself. Like, hip hop is so homophobic. We all know this. It has been. It needs to change. Like, it needs to change. It needs to pivot. And if that takes DaBaby losing a lot of money, that's what it is. Like, it's gonna change. You're not gonna be able to get away with that. Eminem. That's why they went for Eminem this year. Cause like, his shit in the past was horrible. I cringe listening to his old Eminem shit because he would say so much homophobic stuff, and it's not cool. It wasn't cool then, but I guess society was a little bit more like acceptable of it, which is weird. But it is what it is. But it's not like that no more. It's 2021. We riding, we fighting. You can't be saying dumb shit. Your DJ can't be saying dumb shit. And that's that. That's the end of that's that. That's literally that. Like, and if you don't like it, I'm looking at you side eye. If you defend DaBaby, I'm looking at you like the crazy. Like, I don't fuck with you like that then. Flat out. And my Facebook, I have like almost 5,000 friends on Facebook, and thousands of them are from music or graphics, right? Because like I was known in my city in the 2000s and the 2010s as a producer. Everyone knew me, but I don't know these people. Right? Like, I don't really know a lot of these people. So I see, when I get on Facebook, I see so much negativity and so much like hate towards like homosexuals and transsexuals. It's insane. It's horrible. St. Louis is horrible. It's a black community thing a lot. And because I can only speak on the black community. I can't speak on any other community. But I know the black community has a large amount of homophobia in it, and the whole gay agenda, which I've talked about on the podcast. And I don't like it. I don't fuck with it. I don't like that shit. The motherfuckers need change. They need education. Something. They need something. They gotta do better. And DaBaby, I think that I hope this deters other people from talking crazy in rap, because it really is a problem. Moving on. This is a discussion that I see all the time on my Facebook. Again, my Facebook is a very entertaining, toxic place. Splitting the bill amongst friends. I find this hilarious because there's a whole argument like, well, if you can't split the check evenly, right? No matter what you order, excuse me, what you go out for, what you out there for? Like, why'd you go out? Like, why'd you order? At the same time, you got people like, well, what if friend number 3 over here is ordering steak and lobster, knowing they ain't got steak and lobster, but knowing that everyone's gonna go half. I don't know. That's like you with me. If what I order is what I order, what my wife ordered, that's what we order. Like we together, but all the homies and everybody else at the table. Now you gotta get your own. We splitting this bill 18 ways if we have to. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. We splitting this bill. Use like, and it's not even about being broke or not, right? It's just about that's just what it is. Unless you say, yo, Tech, yo, I mean, I want to go out to dinner, but yo, I ain't really got it, and I'm like, come on, we got you. That's different. But like, if we out there and you getting the stuff that you normally wouldn't order yourself, and now we time to split the bill. You time to get the bill. You like, oh no, we splitting this. Nah, player. No, we're not. You are getting your shit. Simple as that. In my book, I don't know what you think, but like, if we go out together, unless I explicitly say that, or someone like, or there's a circumstance about it, we splitting this bill. Plain and simple, we splitting it. And if they can't split the bill, I'm gonna get a highlighter out. I'm gonna produce a highlighter. I'm like, this is what I got. You put that on this card. I don't give a fuck. Let me know what you think about that. I think it's an interesting conversation. Both sides are kind of weird about it, but like, yeah, like, don't go out if you can't. If splitting the bill is a problem, you shouldn't be going out. That's right. Like, if you have to split the bill in order to pay for it because you can't handle the rest, you shouldn't be going out. You need to fall back. Moving on, Lox versus Dipset versus battle. I don't like versus battles. I'm not a big fan. I've only seen a couple of them. Even if it's somebody I care about, I like, yeah, like the on stage with each other and they like going off. And before, when it started, they had a whole bunch of audio issues, and I'm an audio junkie, despite my ever changing audio for the podcast, because I'm trying to find the way that I like the most. Last week was way too hot, but I don't really like versus battles. They're okay. I'd rather just hear like a playlist or something, right? Like whatever. But I did check out Lox versus Dipset, and it was 100% fire. I don't agree with everyone saying the Lox won, but I will say the Lox had iconic records. Like, they have shit that's like, damn, that's right, man. Like, whew, they did that. But I feel like Dipset had better, more entertaining music at the time, and I think it's because of the beats. The Heatmakers were insane. I think Cameron is an acquired taste. I think he's a great rapper, but he does hit you with the pewter Putin, and that's a problem. The scoopity boop boops. Right? Like, it's a problem. And Jadakiss is such a monster, and Styles is such a monster, and even Sheek Louch is a monster. So, like, you really can't compare. Juelz is nice, but he's a Harlem. Like, Harlem Cats is different. Harlem Cats are flamboyant, they flashy, they all about the style, they all about how cool they look. So it's a I don't think you can go record for record with Dipset. Like, cause like they records are bangers, but like it's all about a feeling for Harlem Cats, Harlem music. And for like Yonkers, it's for them, for the Lox, it's more hood, it's more street, it's more like gritty. And like when he says, I'm from New York, you feel that shit. Like, they got Joe Crack on there. Like, you feel it. It's hard. But then like Cameron is so like fun with it. It's more fun rap. It ain't even like corny or like bubblegum rap, but it's fun rap. Like, even though they're talking about some hard shit too, but like the way they present it is way different. It's way shinier. Like, they had a pink Range Rover, bro. Like, it ain't really the same. Like, you really can't compare the two song by song like that. Like, they're two different worlds. The only thing that linked them together to me was that they're a rap group from New York around the same era. But like, they were so different. Like, it's kind of hard to say like if you like Lox, if you love the Lox, you're not gonna love Dipset, and vice versa. Like, it don't really equate to be the same. Like, I don't know. I fucks with both of them. I think Jadakiss is the best rapper on that stage. And Styles P is the second best. But I think Cam and Juelz is the third and fourth best. Jim Jones is not really a rapper to me. But like, that's the different, like, we know where Jim Jones come from. Like, he's Cameron's man. So like, but he has some bangers too. Jim Jones got some bangers too. But like, he ain't no MC. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, obviously Lox won because like their records are just more serious, like more next level, more street shit, more relatable. But Dipset has some bangers. Moving on, Next topic is the NBA super teams. We have a NBA offseason for all the sports. To me, NBA has the most entertaining offseason. It's just they're like this the board the shuffle it just shuffles like the whole league just like moves around. It's kind of crazy. The Lakers made some monster moves, and I gotta pull this up because I don't want to do disrespect. So they got LeBron James and they re-signed Schroeder. Anthony Davis is still there, of course. They just signed Russell Westbrook, which is kind of crazy. He's definitely a premier starter, franchise type player. They brought back Dwight Howard, which was weird. Let's see, they signed Carmelo Anthony, which is crazy. I don't know how great he's gonna be, but he's definitely going to give you something. They got Kendrick Nunn from the Heat. He's a good point guard. They got Trevor Ariza, which is always he's not like a fan favorite player, but he has to be your front office favorite player because every team done pick this dude up. Every team loves him. And it's getting to the point where with the basketball, it's just like the super teams have been happening since forever, right? Like, don't act like Michael Jordan didn't have a super team with Pippen, Kukoc, and Rodman. Like, let's not get it twisted. And then we're not talking about, we just happened to create this team. Like, no, they went out and made that team to win. Same thing with the Lakers when they had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and they had Magic Johnson and they had Byron Scott. Even though Byron Scott was more of a draft player for sure, if I remember correctly, because that's not even my era, so that's before my era, so I can't even speak 100%. But like super teams has been a thing forever, right? The Knicks tried to do it, everyone tries to do it. LeBron James manipulates it to do it. Like, he has a better understanding in the recent years of doing it. They're doing it in Brooklyn. They just had an injury plagued season. But I kind of don't like I like the fact that Milwaukee won this year because like the small team markets can't really do this because they can't afford to do this. Well, there's a salary cap for everybody, so it's basically how you move that money. But don't get it twisted. There's money involved in this, and like it's money and power and the allure of big cities. No one wants to go to Milwaukee. Nobody wants to go to the Timberwolves. Those teams don't really get that allure of the big superstars, but like LA does, you know what I'm saying? And like, so we just gotta, I don't know, it's a pylon team, so like, I don't know if I feel like you have to have an asterisk next to your championship if you win. I mean, obviously they're trying to stack this team up so it's impossible for them not to win a championship, and that's kind of corny, right? Golden State, they drafted them players. I mean, outside the KD thing, that's their just front office working. So the pylon teams, it's a problem. Lakers are going to be a problem this year. I'm excited to see what they do. I feel like if they don't do well, it is going to be a complete asterisk on LeBron James's career. It's inevitable. Like, I understand that you try to win and you want to win at all costs, but it feels like stacking is kind of corny to me. It's just like that. It's just, I don't know. Not a fan of it. Suicide Squad 2. That came out this last week. I went to the movie theaters with my wife, and we watched it. I enjoyed it. Kevin Johnson from the Post-Dispatch, which is a friend of mine, said it was the movie of the year. I'm not sure I believe it's the movie of the year at all. I believe it's a good movie. It felt good. I watched it again. It felt good the second time. I feel like James Gunn is a magic with comic books. Like, he knows what to do. He knows how to make characters that aren't relevant because the Guardians of the Galaxy were not relevant before James Gunn's movie. I'm a lifelong comic book fan, and even I was like, who? Like, the Guardians? Who are those? So, he knows how to he knows how to make a good story with people who, like, aren't the mainstream. And I think maybe that's the problem with a Superman movie, because, like, you have to work so hard to make a story around that, but you have so many limitations and rules. And with these offbeat characters, you don't have that. I think that's kind of probably why the logic they gave him Suicide Squad, right? And not like something bigger. Even though I'm sure he would knock that out the park too, because he's just created monsters. Like, he's made King Shark a thing again. Like, King Shark is dope if you know about King Shark, but like he's gonna be like a thing, right? I even like Idris Elba in it. John Cena already got a spinoff of his character Peacemaker. Good movie. good ending. Now, I got homies who be like, oh, it fell apart in the third act. And if you're that into it, sure. Now, I know some movies fall apart in the third act. I don't think this one did. Suicide Squad 1 fell apart in the third act, because I'm like, well, that's it? You know, like, if you watch it in the movie and you're like, that's it, then yeah, I can see that. But, like, I'm not going to be that critical and be like, break it down to acts and, you know, things upon those natures. But it was a good movie. I was entertained. I've seen it twice now. Entertained both times. Probably their best DC offering. Joker is better. But then this probably is like number 2. Or Man of Steel's up there too. But this is in the top 5 DC movies, because we know like the extended universe. And I think that's my problem with it, is that the extended universe is just like, you know, like they don't really give a fuck about it. So like, it is what it is. It feels like a throwaway money grabs every time they do movies to me. And I know that with Marvel, they're trying to make this huge universe, and I love that type of shit. But like this DC shit is just like, oh, let's try this. That one didn't do well. Let's try this, and let's try to get more money. And it just feels like a money grab. It doesn't feel like fan service, which it should always feel like fan service. But Suicide Squad, it felt good. It felt like a little bit more fan service for deep dives into DC with the villains and whatnot. I don't like what they're doing with Harley Quinn. I feel like we're getting mystiqued. With Sony's, was it Sony or Fox's X-Men movies, they were like, oh, Mystique's kind of a hero. And they did that because of Jennifer Lawrence. They did it because, like, they knew that when Rebecca Stamos, her character, like, everyone liked it. So, like, they was like, oh, we need to keep Mystique. And then, like, once it started getting popular, like, oh, yeah, we're going to make her part of the good guys. That's how they're doing that with Harley Quinn. You know, she's crazy, but, like, they're always trying to, like, she's, like, evil, too. Like, she's actually, like, not a hero. So, like, I feel like they're trying to, like, sell her as a hero to make money. She says she's going to take a 5-year break from the movies, which I don't blame her. I think she's getting burnt out on doing them. I'm sure her back hurts from carrying DCEU. It has to. So, shout out to Margot Robbie for killing that role. She does a great job every time with Harley Quinn. And that's the first time we've seen Harley Quinn in live action. And it's been, even within bad movies, it's been really good. Suicide Squad was terrible. An F, the first one. An F, first one, for sure. But she's a shining light in it. And I hate that we don't get Jared Leto Joker. I think the scenes that they had together were awesome in the first Suicide Squad. And I wanted more Jared Leto as Joker. But, you know, fans and they're complaining and, you know, manipulating of how they want the movies to be made. People do that a lot, man. Sometimes you gotta enjoy art. Sometimes you gotta let them do them and just consume it. You don't have to get online and complain about it. And I know this sounds real hypocritical from a dude with a podcast with just his thoughts, but you don't always have to voice your opinions and your disdain. I try not to do that. I try to pick things that I like outside of, you know, this episode. I don't like COVID. I don't like DaBaby, but like I try to speak positive. I'm definitely never gonna tweet a game developer or a movie maker and say, you should have did this, you should have did that, because I don't know. It's not my business. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I eat at your restaurant and I don't like it, I'm not going to send you a review. You got to talk to your friends about that. You got to talk to people who know you and care about you. I'm just not going to go back. You know? I ate dinner last night from somewhere that I normally like. I didn't like it. I didn't get online about it. Just not going to talk about it. You know? Just not going to put that energy out there. You know, if they want that positive, that honest feedback, talk to people that know you personally. Hopefully they give you the honest feedback. But that's how business is. If someone doesn't like me for, you know, music or graphics, they just won't return. You know? And that's what it is. And I won't know why. So you gotta do a lot of self-evaluation. You gotta keep good people around you and not put out that negative energy. I don't know how I went from Suicide Squad to that, but I did. But speaking of negative energy, and speaking of carrying something, because Margot Robbie's definitely carrying Suicide Squad and DCEU, Dr. Dre is not footing the bill for his daughter. Now, let me read this line from this. This is horribly written. This is a News 24. I've been noticing that news articles are written horribly. So that's neither here nor there. Dr. Dre's daughter, LaTanya Young, talks about being homeless despite her father's $800 million fortune. She's been estranged from her hip-hop mogul father for 18 years now, and LaTanya Young, 38, Dr. Dre's eldest daughter, has also admitted to being homeless. The mom of four says she's living out of her rental car and working menial jobs for food delivery services, Uber Eats and DoorDash, and at warehouses in the United States. Quote, I'm taking odd jobs just to make it now. I got paid $15 an hour as an assembler at the warehouse. I'm trying to keep my head above water. I've been in debt for a while. Dr. Dre's helped her in the past. Again, they haven't talked, I guess, 18 years. Is it Dr. Dre's responsibility to maintain the survival of his eldest daughter, who is now 38 years old? I don't know. I don't think so. You're 38. My wife seems to think I lack compassion. But, 38 is kind of grown. You got 4 kids. You got to get on it. And should he have a better relationship with his daughter? Absolutely. Someone that rich, though, like, it is kind of expected to take care of your family. I don't know what happened in their lives. You don't know what type of person Andre Young is. You don't know what type of person LaTanya Young is. It's unfortunate. It sucks. You want a millionaire on that. I think he's a billionaire or close to a billionaire. He has at one point been a billionaire, but he could never spend that money in his lifetime. He could never spend that money in his lifetime. He birthed her. At least he could do. Like, he doesn't have to do anything. He's not legally responsible for doing anything. But I've never had kids. But I could imagine that that's a bond that you don't want to shit on. If I was the parent. So if I had $800 million and there was a daughter who didn't fuck with me like that for whatever reasons, I would try to work it better in life, so like we would have a better relationship. And I don't want to go personal, but like I didn't have a great relationship with my mother. She probably could have tried a little bit. She didn't. So I let that go a long time ago. But like, you have to. I don't know. You have to take care of your family. You should. You should take care of your family for sure. But again, we don't know the circumstances. We don't know the situation. But also, as a 38-year-old with 4 kids, you got to get on it too. Like, you can't be expecting a handout. And I feel like this is expecting a handout. The mother seems very bitter. She's doing a book. I just watched a video about that. It seems very, very fucked up all the way around. Very fucked up situation. But $800 million, you'll never be able to spend that. And that is your daughter. So, I mean, it's definitely on you, but it says a lot about both characters, right? It says a lot about both characters. For her to ask for money, for him not to give her money, for it to even go public, it says a lot about both their characters. That's all the topics I have for today. This is going to be a shorter episode because I've always wanted to keep it between 25 and 30 minutes. I didn't want to do a super long podcast like before. I think people lose interest. I don't want to hear me talk for 30 minutes. So thanks for listening to the Rent Free with Tech Supreme episode 8. If you like what you heard, then do me a favor. If you're on YouTube, hit the like button and subscribe button. I need you to comment as well. It helps out the algorithm. And if you hear this on streaming sites, leave a review. That helps me to get discovered. And if you see these clips on TikTok, hit that like button, comment, interact, share it, and I appreciate you guys. I will see you guys next week for another episode. If you have any suggestions for topics, please let me know. I am Tech Supreme on everything, on every platform. I'm just Tech Supreme, as you can see it spelled. So hit me up, talk to me. It's all good. I appreciate you guys. Check out next episode, Rent Free with Tech Supreme, episode 8, and we out. Chill.
Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Rent free. Lives in your head rent free.